Woken up today with a real sense of nothingness, of pointlessness, of I just can't be arsed to do another day. Now, I don't think it's depression or despair. You know, I'm very able to see how blessed I am and how beautiful my life is relatively to humanity and how enslaved most people are. And I say that with compassion. It's just this utter sense of boredom, of what's the point? Like, sure, I can get lost in creating YouTube videos, and then I can get stoned, and then I can listen to some semi-interesting people on YouTube. But essentially, it's all meaningless. It's all just coping. I feel like I'm at this point where, you know, I've let go of society. I've let go of, you know, the traps. Having a job, having a mortgage, caring what your friends think, even having friends. You know, I've detached from all that. Just check out this dog walker with all these dogs. Awesome. You know, that's the only thing that brings me any joy now is animals. Animals in nature. The intelligent person, the spiritual seeker, gets to a point where they just see through the shallowness of society. You know, intelligent people often isolate themselves and often live in solitude. And, you know, this is because we see through conversation, we see the intention behind every word that's said. Basically, the attention seeking, the desire for people's confirmation that they're okay, by having friends, by having their opinions validated. And we just see the nonsense of it all. We see the superficiality of it all. And eventually we get to a point where we see that all words are basically futile. They're just avoidance. They're just avoiding the internal. They're just avoiding the reality, you know, the deeper stuff. You know, society is so shallow, and most people are so shallow and not very intelligent, and can be placated with a conversation with a pleb or Coronation Street or whatever. But once you've seen through all that and moved past it all, you're definitely left with a peace and a presence, or more of a peace and a presence, I should say. But what do you do? Now, I've got a teacher who got in touch with me through my YouTube, and you know, he's a teacher of oneness, and he says that I'm struggling because I'm still a self. I'm still separated from God. So it would show one for the ladies there. And yeah, it's all about oneness and moving to a place where you can feel like I intellectually understand oneness, but I don't feel it. I still experience myself as a self. So he's telling me I need to meditate and continuously ask the word, who am I? And eventually I'll realise I'm God and part of it all, just like we all are. Okay. So I tried it a bit this morning, but I couldn't sit with it, to be honest. I was just getting into my frustrations, which right now all centre around YouTube and getting paid from YouTube, and I've managed to fill in my tax information. So I think, not today Satan, I think I am actually going to start getting paid off it. I think I've done everything. But this channel and English Refugee are still not allowing me to apply for monetization, even though I've hit all the targets. And when I contact YouTube about it, they just fob me off. They tell me, oh, you haven't done two-step verification, but I have. And yes, it says that I haven't done it, but when I click on it and it goes to my AdSense account, which is the one that pays you, it says I've done it. But they just fob me off with that. It's just so frustrating. Anyway, so these frustrations start coming up, and then I can't really sit with the meditation, which I guess is why I need to keep doing it and keep working that muscle. But for me, I think meditation is the hardest practice of all. Like, You know, give me the most intense of plant medicines and I'm up for it. You know, give me, it's almost easier. The only plant medicine I haven't done is iboga. I've tried to do it twice and I got rejected both times. I filled in the questionnaire too honestly. Basically said, yeah, I'm considering ending myself. And they were like, yeah, you can't do iboga. And then when I asked for clarification on it, is a couple of weeks earlier, he'd had somebody who had, in the ceremony, slit their wrists. I don't think they ended, but so yeah, he was getting super stringent on it. Should have lied on that blooming questionnaire. Anyway, what's the point I'm making? Yeah, there's a fear around doing iboga. I mean, that is, for those that don't know, it's a wood from Gabon. It's the most intense of plant medicines. That's, you know, what everyone will say. Within the plant medicine scene, so let's say everyone's done ayahuasca in the plant medicine scene, I would say 2 or 3% of people have done iboga. Like, it really is another level. So yeah, I'm up for doing that. But I'm not up for just sitting in peace and silence. It's mad, isn't it? It's like that self-hatred still playing out. That like, yeah, give me the torture, give me the iboga, give me the pain and the suffering. Well, it's of course there's a knowledge, but on the other side of that pain and suffering is more understanding of self, more self-love, more experiencing of your internal dynamics, more understanding of self, and therefore more freedom and peace. So obviously, yes, there is an intellectual understanding of why one would do it, but I just want to speak into that desire in me to always lean in to fear and pain. But when it comes to meditation, which is essentially the same, you're still leaning into fear and pain, but it's like it's not painful enough. It needs to be more painful. I would think that's self-hatred playing out, but it's not true. It is actually incredibly painful. This is why people can't do it. This is why I can't do it. Yeah, it's really interesting that actually the most simple practice is the hardest one, because it's truly being with yourself without any aid. So I think what I'm speaking into now is resistance. I think I'm feeling a huge resistance to the next stage of my cycle, the next stage of my journey, which is intense meditation, really dedicating myself to meditation. You know, I've only ever really been able to do it with support, so support of medicines. You know, meditating is very easy on mushrooms, or even with a joint, you know, can go into a very meditative state, but I still find I have to be listening to something. There's always something in the background. There's always a YouTube video playing when I've had a joint. I used to own a float tank when I owned a spiritual community centre. I probably used to go in about 3 times a week, so I used to, you know, lock myself in a meditation chamber, essentially. And, you know, it's something you commit to when you're in water and you're wet, so once you're in it, you know, you want to see it through. You at least do 20 minutes, if not the full hour, because you're going to have a shower and all that, so it seems daft to get out after 2 minutes. But obviously when you're just meditating normally, it's very easy to stop after a couple of minutes. So yeah, I guess this is the next stage, and this is why all this frustration is coming up, because it's the resistance to dedicating myself to a meditation practice. The ultimate medicine. You know, I think once you've experienced many plant medicines, and then men's work, and then breath work, and then family constellations, and all the other crazy modalities that we do, which are still doing, you know, they still feed the ego, they still feed that sense of, you know, that need to be in something all the time, because we're so conditioned to be doing all the time. We're so conditioned to escape ourselves all the time. You know, with nonsense like this, for example. Oh, my gender, my identity, my this, my that, narcissism. You know, we're just so conditioned into it all. So to strip all that away and just be without any aid, I think is the most challenging thing ever. Certainly for me anyway, and I think this relates to most people. There might be some people who have an intense fear over plant medicine, who have an established meditation practice. But I just feel if you've got a fear over plant medicine and that fear is in you, it's not about the plant medicine, it's your fear. It's your desire to control. It's your fear of letting go. So you can't be properly meditating if you've got that fear in you, because you can't be letting go to meditation, surely. Anyway, these are questions. You know, I'm not in guru mode today. I'm in self-deprecating human mode. So yeah, these are all just questions. You know, please do answer them in the comments. I think that's really important. I think it's really important to do videos like this. It's very easy when you've, you know, done 10 years shadow work and you're intelligent and relative to the population, you are very wise. It's very easy to get into guru mode. It's very easy to just start doing this channel that's all polished, as if you have the answers and as if you can teach people. And obviously that's linked to getting clients and all this sort of thing, shadow work clients in my case. But I don't want to do that. You know, I want to be completely real. I want people to work with me because they see how authentic I am, because they see how real I am. Not because I'm some perfect, polished, spiritual teacher, because I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I'm a guy who really struggles with life, but is on a very deep self-inquiry and has done a lot of work, and therefore has a lot he can pass on to others. But these, you know, I mean, I basically see every other, you know, I listen to this guy called Woken, and he's absolutely amazing. Like, he's a very enlightened man. But he projects onto his audience. He rips his audience apart. He's really, really aggressive to his audience, and I get it. I totally get all his frustrations. But anyway, he has this alter ego that he calls supercilious, and that basically comes on camera and just tells everyone they're complete retards and that they're nowhere near as good as him, and that they can never be as good as him, essentially. And he sees it as, you know, a truthful part of him that is warranted because everyone's retarded. What I see is the self-saboteur. I see this part of him that is so scared of connecting with another, that is so scared of success. So his YouTube channel, it doesn't do very well because he slags everyone off constantly. So why am I speaking into this? Like, this guy is super authentic. He's absolutely brilliant. But he can't acknowledge his flaws. He can't acknowledge that he clearly is scared shitless of people and connection, understandably, because this guy has had a lot of trauma. Like, he was brought up in the care system, and also because he is super intelligent and super enlightened. You know, it is very hard. You know, I have the same struggle, and I agree that it's not about letting plebs in. It's not about having low vibrational conversations at all. But he will say things like, there is nobody in the world who can meet me, and that's just not true. You know, that is just not true. There's many enlightened individuals. So I see this defense mechanism within him. Yeah, I got onto that because basically he's not a great example of a polished, finished spiritual teacher. No one even really listens to him. But there's still this, like, this ego, this lying to self that you're too good for, or that you're better than, whilst acknowledging that yes, he is better than 99% of the population. There's still that 1% that can meet him. There's me, I can meet him for sure. But I don't think he'd allow it. I don't think he'd allow it. Because he goes off on these, like, if you haven't met Jesus and you haven't met the devil and you haven't astral projected, then what can you tell me? I haven't done any of those things. But I feel like I've done more internal work. I feel like I have less unconscious assessment of myself, less defensiveness. You know, that's the key. It's that defensiveness that he has, where he's like, supercilious is warranted, supercilious is needed, Yeah, that's it. He tells himself that supercilious comes out to protect him from retards, which is true. But it comes out because he's defensive. You know, I see a lot of defensiveness in him, and I don't think he recognises that in himself. Anyway, I love this guy. I'm not slagging him off at all. He's probably my most watched YouTuber. Awakened Brave. The Awakened Brave, I think his channel's called. But you have to have done a lot of work to watch him, because he will absolutely offend you if you haven't. I'm not sure what I was rambling on about there, why I brought up the Awakened Brave. It was something along the lines of, you know, if people resonate with me as some sort of teacher, then I want it to be through my vulnerability, through my ability to be vulnerable, through my ability to be honest, through my absolute authenticity, no matter what the cost to self. You know, the dedication I have to authenticity and truth. So I think that's the ultimate vibration, truth. I mean, I suppose the love. I suppose love. Can I love? Can I love myself? Can I love others? Yes, I can. Like, I have so much love for the men in my men's group, and when they reach out and they're vulnerable, I have so much love for dogs and animals. Like, there's so much love coursing through me. But it's very hard to give it to plebs, because they just don't. I was going to say they don't deserve it, but it's more than that. They're unable to receive it. You know, they're unable to be in any sort of high vibrations. They can only communicate on such shallow, superficial levels. But yeah, I'm just not. I'm just past letting that vibration in my life. I'm completely done with it. It's a wonderful tree. Not sure why it's been painted white on the bottom. That's a right beast, isn't it? Alright, I think. Oh my god, I think that was an awful video. But I'm sure you'll all let me know. Yeah, I just trust that whatever comes out is meant to come out on the day. And that's what came out today. So yeah, let me know what you thought of it. Please like if it's worth a like. I hope you subscribe to the channel. If it is worth sharing with somebody, share it. But yeah, I really don't know if that one was much good. I'm really struggling this morning. I feel like a major head fog. I feel like I got drunk last night. I just got super stoned, so it's probably something to do with it. Yeah, it's like the universe is reflecting all the reasons why I can't meditate, all the reasons why I can't be in peace. You know, like I get super stoned every night. I don't usually feel like this. I also stayed in a really quiet, beautiful apartment. Not beautiful, but beautiful in terms of peaceful. And I've woke up like more foggy than usual. So it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm being pushed towards this meditation. I have that teacher that I mentioned. We haven't spoke for like 2 months. And then he just messaged me out of the blue. So obviously the universe, God, he's just like, okay, it's time now. This teacher's back to prod you again towards more oneness. And you've got a really beautiful quiet space. And I'm going to really accentuate the effects that marijuana has on you and really make you feel that and make you realise that you probably need to give it up. No, I won't do it. Resistance. Alright guys, see you later.